Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. As always, I'm one of your wonderful co-hosts on this show, MattyBets, joined by my other wonderful co-host.
BigAl Bettor, you know the game. We
Yes,
love to
we
play.
do. The game that we love to play today is the Lions schedule. It's a game that we're going to be playing. It's part of our series that we're going through. We're going through every team, every division, every conference, and we're just going through the schedules to kind of see the win totals that the book has compared to the win totals that we think and that we see with the schedule and the opponents that they're facing this year. So,
Yep.
without further ado, anything else you want to add to this, Al, before we jump into it?
No, it's just I'm excited to do the Lions. This division's the NFC North's going to be a tough division this year, and just really happy to hop into the Lions and get a breakdown on how we see the season going.
Yeah, perfect. All right, well, let's jump into it and start off week one. Actually, before we jump into it, let's just talk about the Lions real quick. Just a little
Okay, let's go.
synopsis for it.
Take us on a journey, Matt.
Nothing's really changed, right? Last year, it was right before they got to the NFC Champs game against
Yep.
the Niners. They beat,
Yep.
their Goff's old team with the Rams, beat them in the semifinals, and then lost to the Niners. They made it all the way with Dan Campbell, and he's been there for what, second year, third year, last year?
Third.
Third year. So this will be his fourth year as the head coach. He's really turned it around. Detroit, honestly, was a terrible team, terrible franchise, and he turned them around. Motor City Dan Campbell just turned everything around. They have a great team now, stacked receivers. They have great quarterback. They got stacked running backs too with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, and the defense is great too. And nothing's really changed. I don't know. It's good / great. You can say good, you can say great. I don't think anybody's going to judge you for it, especially not Detroit fans. But we'll see. They do have pretty decent schedule, and the division's kind of tough too. So let's jump into it.
They did have a great year, but like it's easy to have a good year when your expectations are low.
That's fair.
And now you've got a little pressure.
You have a lot of pressure from a lot of fans, a lot of hungry fans that saw a glimpse of it last year.
Can we live up to those expectations? That's
live
really
up to the hype.
Where we're at here. But anyway, let's jump into it.
All right, sounds good. Week one, home game against the Rams, Sunday Night Football. A rematch of the semifinals last year.
It's going to be a intense game. It's going to be insane. Sunday Night Football, brightest lights. I have the Lions losing this game.
Okay.
It's a revenge game for Stafford and the boys. They're going to come back into town and get revenge for losing in the playoffs last year.
I would say the same thing if it was in LA. But it's in Detroit. I'll take Detroit. They had a great season last year, like we said. They're going to be ecstatic. They're going to come out and they're going to win that game. And Goff will win another game against Stafford.
I like when we're on opposite sides of it. It makes
I do too. Makes it way more entertaining.
Fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. Week two. Home against the Buccaneers.
Home against the Buccaneers. I've got them winning this one.
I do too. The Bucs are good.
I like the Bucs. We've talked about the Bucs, but Detroit's on a different level, I think, at this moment in time.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
So,
penciled that in. We're each on a win there. Okay, week 3 on the road against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I've got them winning this one also.
Okay, I do too.
I don't hate the Cardinals, but I think Detroit is a good team. They're going to be hungry. They want to get back to where the heights they achieved last year. So they're going to come in and when you're on a 2-game win streak like you have them and they're 1-1 like I have them so far, they're going to come in hot. They're going to off a win. They're going to tear them apart.
Yeah, for sure. We've talked about the Cardinals before too, and it's like the Cardinals we're just not as high on. They're just not as complete of a team. We got to see Kyler after the injury. We got to see how good Marvin Harrison Jr. is. I don't think anybody has doubts about him being a good receiver, but it's going to be, quarterback play plays a lot into receivers having a great season, great rookie year, and great careers. So we'll see if Kyler can do that. We saw him do it with DeAndre Hopkins, so I have high hopes, but we'll see. Time will tell. Week 4, they're home against the Seahawks.
Yes, I have them winning this one also.
Okay, cool. I do too. Seahawks, they should be exciting. They should be a little bit more explosive than they have been in years past. Not as much running. Should be a lot more throwing, a lot more deep shots. But, I got to see it to believe it first, and I'm going to take the Lions.
I'm going to trust the Lions team that just made it to the playoffs over a Seahawks team with a new coach, even though I do like Seattle, and I think it's going to be a fun game, but I can't take Seattle to win that. on the road in Detroit. Just can't do it.
Yeah, no, I'm not throwing a blind shot right there. I got my money on the Lions for sure. Week 5 they got a bye week, another early one. Actually, might be one of the earliest. I don't think there's week 4 buys.
Which
Is
could
there?
come back to bite them a little bit. No, week 4
Yeah.
is the last week before the buys start.
Okay,
So week
perfect.
5 is the first buys.
Which, yeah, like you said, it could come back to bite them. Week 6, right off their bye, they got to go to Dallas.
Yep, and I have them losing that game.
I do too as well. I can see them winning this for sure. Like, if they come off the bye week, they're refreshed, they're rested. Like, I can see them
Yeah,
beating
but
Dallas
we know what Dallas is, and
at home.
if
Yeah.
Dallas at home is just a beast. So
Yeah, and it's not the
but
playoffs.
it should be a close game. But
Yeah, it'll be an
I've
exciting
got
game.
Dallas.
Good
I've got
fantasy
Dallas.
football game if you have players in that game. Should be high
Right.
scoring. Yeah.
Right.
Week 7, moving on. On the road against the Vikings.
Correct. I have them losing this one as well.
Really?
Yeah.
See, we're disagreeing here because I have them winning this game.
I had a feeling you were going to go that way. My take is that Dallas is going to be such a tough matchup. They're going to get beat up. And so they're going to come into Minnesota, and it's another road game. They're going to come into Minnesota a little banged up, a little beat up, and Minnesota's just going to be able to get the edge on them.
Okay.
That's my
Fair
take.
enough.
And fun fact for you, Minnesota will be coming off a bye.
Okay. That's good to know.
So when you take Minnesota fresh, refreshed, and then them just coming off a big game against Dallas, I just think those two get me to where they don't win that game.
Okay. Well, moving on. Week 8, we have a home game against the Tennessee Titans.
Yes, home against Tennessee. I think.
I mean, yeah, I think that we're both on the same on that one. Yeah, I got the Lions winning.
And you have them beating Minnesota, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I have them going to Minnesota and winning. Yes. Moving on. Week 9. Here we go. On the road against Green Bay. Your team.
Yeah, at Green Bay, they're not coming into Lambeau and winning that.
No, I would agree with that actually.
So
Which
I have them.
might surprise you. Probably
I have
not,
them
but
taking it now.
when it's two teams like that are actually really close and like where the book has them ranked, and then also where we personally have them ranked, when it's that
Right.
close, the home field advantage plays a big difference and a big part into who I take in my picks.
Well, and like we talked about, I think in the last video, you've got Jared Goff outdoors in the cold.
yeah, I don't care about that.
I mean,
You
week
do,
9, what's
I
that?
know.
End of October?
Yep. It's November 3rd.
November 3rd. Yeah, so it's starting to get a little chilly. It's not as cold as December's going to be, but it's like that's actually not bad to play Green Bay that early, like middle of the season.
Yeah. It might not be
if you go to
super
Green Bay in
cold.
December,
That's when it gets tough.
It actually might not be that bad.
Yeah, that's a good time to have an away game.
Yeah, that is. But I still think they lose that.
Yeah, we both got Green Bay winning that game. Week 10, on the road against the Houston Texans and C.J.
Right.
Stroud.
Right. And this one might surprise you the way I lean.
Okay.
I've got Detroit winning this one.
I do too. I'll
Even though
take
it's
Jared
on the
Goff
road.
over C.J. Stroud any day. And I do not like the fact that it's away. If it was a home game, I'd feel way better about it. But I
Sure.
still like them going on the road to Houston and getting a win. I just love the Lions a lot more than I do
Now,
the
this
Texans.
could be a trap spot where you would want to take
Houston.
Houston, just simply because coming off the Green Bay game, that's a divisional game. There's going to be a lot of intensity in that one. And coming off a loss and then a second road trip.
Yeah.
So it could be a trap spot, and Houston's not a slouch. But I do have them bouncing back. So
Okay. I agree. And all right, moving on. Week 11, home against the Jags.
home against the Jags, I have
Jacksonville
them winning
comes
that
to
one
town.
also.
Jacksonville, in my opinion, like especially since you're going to Detroit, I don't think Jacksonville has the firepower to keep up with the Lions. That's where I stand on that.
Sure.
Like I don't think that
Sure.
they have the firepower. I take defenses out of that game and I just look at offenses. Like Detroit's at home, look at the offenses. I'm taking the Lions all day.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
All right, now week 12. This one's gonna be tough, and we might disagree on this one. I'm not sure. We have an away
I don't think
game.
we're gonna disagree.
No, really? Okay. Well, they're on the road, Indianapolis Colts.
Yep, they're at Indy. I have them taking the L.
I do too. That's surprising. I thought you were gonna have them taking the win there. On the road,
I like
going
Indy
to the
this
Loud
year.
House.
I like Indy this year.
Indy is gonna be a really fun team to watch, and they're gonna be a really good team. in
I
my
don't know if I've
opinion.
just been hanging around you a little too much, and you're a big
Maybe.
Indy guy, and I'm just like leeching off that a little bit. But big on Indy, and I just think I think Detroit's gonna. I mean, they're gonna be on a stretch here, right? You get Green Bay, Houston, Jacksonville, and then you go to Indy. I don't know. I just think it's too much to win all three of those games against the AFC South.
Yeah, I agree. And they're all kind of bunched up together too, which that's
They are
tough.
bunched up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, week 13. They come back home to take on the
Yes.
Chicago Bears.
The Chicago Bears. I have them winning that one as well.
Hmm. Mine's the same thing as before. It's literally. Wait, am I reading this right?
You tell me.
Oh, this is Thanksgiving, right?
Thanksgiving Day.
Yep, Thanksgiving Day.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago, Detroit.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
it's 9:30 in the morning. I was like, why is it 9:30 in the morning on a Thursday? I'm like, oh, it's Thanksgiving. Yeah, no, I have them winning this game too. I look at the offenses like I said before, like just like with the Jacksonville game. I don't see the Bears keeping up with the Lions.
Well, and we don't know, like we said in the Bears video, if you guys watched that, we don't know what Caleb Williams will be.
Exactly. So you kind of have to guess.
But we know what the Lions are.
Exactly. I'm gonna take
So,
the proven product over
right,
what
the
could
devil
be.
I know versus the devil I don't.
Exactly. All right. Now moving on. Week 14, home against the Packers.
Home against the Packers, I have them losing this one.
Yeah. See, that's dumb. I have them winning. They're gonna win at home against the Packers.
Okay.
See, and that might just be a little bias from you.
And I'm open to the fact it may be biased. Also, we destroyed them on Thanksgiving last year in
Okay.
their home. So,
Do it
I mean,
again.
we have a record of winning in Detroit. I mean, we all remember Rodgers' Hail Mary. I mean, we're good in Detroit. I mean, you take a team that's used to the cold and the outdoors and the wind, and you give them perfect environment,
Yeah.
and then they go up against a team that's always had the perfect environment. So for them, there's not as much of a curve. So you take us out of our bad elements, you bring us to just a perfect spot, and then these people are playing against a team that's used to playing in bad elements, and they're in a, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
All right. Well, week 15 gets a little bit tougher, maybe depending on how you view this team. But they're home against the
sure,
Bills.
home against
The
Bills.
Bills.
It's tough, right?
It's tough. Bills come to town. We don't know what the Bills are really going to be this year without Stephon Diggs. Still got Josh Allen. Lost a couple of key defensive players. What do you think here?
I might shock you here. I
Okay.
am I'm taking Detroit to lose.
Yeah. See. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, they lose 2 back-to-back home games. Sure. Definitely. I'm taking the Lions to win this one. The
So
Bills
they
are
beat
losing.
Green Bay and Buffalo back to back.
It's at home. I'll take it.
Back to back.
Yeah, dude. It's Detroit. Eminem's gonna be at both those games.
Okay.
That's
All right.
dubs for me. I'm not as high on the Bills as most people are this year. Week 16 on the road
Well, we
against the
know that
Bears.
if you guys saw the Bills video, then you would know that Matt's not as high on the Buffalo. He wanted to be. He wanted to
I
be, and
want it to
then
be.
when we broke down that schedule,
It's tough,
it's much tougher than
and when you
he.
have to go to Detroit and play, and like, I don't know, it's hard to like pick a game like that. It's tough,
Yeah, it's
especially
very
against.
very it's very difficult to pick a team to go up against another good team after playing a division rival that could be for the division
Here we go.
potentially
Yeah,
at that
week
point in the
16
season,
away
right?
on the road, but they're playing the Bears
At Chicago.
at Chicago.
Yep. Yeah, I've got them losing that one.
You got them losing.
It's cold. It's Chicago. It's winter. It's Goff. That's my take.
Okay, fair.
That's my why.
I'll give them a loss here as well. I want to give them the win, but you said that you changed my mind. I'll give them a loss here
Hey,
against the Bears.
I'm here for it.
All right, week 17. Here we go. This is going to be a
Huge
rematch.
game. Huge
Rematch
game.
of the NFC Champs game on the road
Yes.
against the Niners.
Mhm. It's
It's
exciting.
it's an exact rematch because they literally had to play in San Fran.
Week 17 too. We're one game from the end of the season, and we jump
Yeah.
to playoffs. These games matter.
This
They all
game
matter.
matters.
But
This
but
game matters. It's
this
not
is
these
like a
games. It's
big game.
this game.
This game is a big game, and it matters. And
And
I
it's
have
also a
them
revenge
losing.
game. You have what?
I have Detroit losing.
I have Detroit winning.
I'm not shocked.
I have Detroit winning against the
You are
Niners. They get
you're
they get a
very pro
rematch.
Lions.
They get a rematch.
Heavy on Detroit.
Goff
Heavy on
gets his
Detroit.
redemption. I like it a lot. All right, cool. Moving on.
Maybe.
Yeah,
That's a
moving
tough
on.
game though. Traveling to San Fran.
No, I know. I'm not saying
So
it's an easy game.
no. So Buffalo comes to Detroit. They lose because they're on the road, and
Yep.
then Detroit has to go across the country to San Fran, and they just walk in there and just win.
I cannot wait till you see the Bills this year. You're gonna see exactly what I've been saying, and you're gonna be like, "Wait, what? Like, how are the Bills 3-5?" And I'll be like, "Exactly."
I don't think I'm going to say that, to be completely
You're going
fair.
to.
I have them going 1, 2, 3. I have them starting 3-3.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be weirded out if they go 3-5.
All right. Well, whatever. Week 18, last game of the season,
Last
home
game of the
against
season.
the Vikings.
Yep, they
Justin
win that
Jefferson and company. Yeah.
one. Yep, they win that one.
Yeah, they're gonna win that game. They're gonna.
It's the final.
It's the final
playoff
game.
push time.
Yep, exactly.
Like they're going to need that
Yeah,
one.
they're gonna take care of business.
The only way you could take them to not win that is if you were going to say they get beat up by San Fran, and so,
Well, which is true.
They don't go into that game super strong. But
It's
do you
real.
need to even be full strength to beat Minnesota late in the season? I don't think
That's
so.
the question.
And the good thing, Minnesota has to come to you. So it's like...
It's a good way to cap off the season and just be like, okay, cool, kind of coast into the playoffs.
Yeah. So the books have the Lions at 10.5.
Which doesn't surprise me.
It is top of the division. You have them going 13-4.
I'm really high on where the book is high. I've noticed that since we've gone through these schedules. I'm high where the book is. Like the teams that they have at the top of the division, I am giving the most wins to, which I've noticed.
To be fair, you gave the Commanders 11 wins.
Okay, why are we bringing that up? We're talking about the Lions.
No, but you're saying the high wins. You're giving a high book teams higher wins. But you're giving across the board.
Well, you gotta understand, they're giving the Giants 6. So I'm taking the Giants 1 win that I gave them, and I'm taking those 5 wins and distributing them to the rest of the division.
And that's fair point. But so with the bad teams, you're just fading.
Yes, hard.
1 game instead of 6. But then with good teams, you're going to be way better than.
You're going to beat the bad teams. Yes.
So you're just kind of all over the place. You're a little sporadic.
I'm not a little sporadic. I just know the good teams and I know the bad teams. That's the thing. I'm more like the Oracle.
That's what it is.
Oracle.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I've got the Lions going 8-9.
Okay. I don't like that at all, but
it's a sophomore slump after their huge year last year.
Which isn't true. And let us know in the comments. Let him know in the comments that the Lions are definitely not going 8 wins. Okay, we already know the Lions are getting more than 8 wins. Their schedule, it's kind of tough, but not really. It's actually one of the easier ones that we've seen.
You play Green Bay twice. You play Chicago, who's supposed to be good twice, right?
They play Green Bay twice every year.
Correct.
And it's going to be a split.
You play Buffalo, you play Indy, you play Houston, you play Dallas.
You play Indy on the road, which we gave them a loss. You play the Bills at home. You play
What is home? What is home?
What do you mean? What is home?
It's a dome. It's indoors. You have no advantage there.
You do have an advantage because it's your field.
That's the.
It doesn't matter. Let us know in the comments who's right, who's wrong, because we already know that I'm right. It's just how it goes.
5-point difference in the projections. That's pretty big. Yeah,
but that's
okay. The farther we go into this, the more farther apart we're getting on our projections here.
Yeah,
but the book's got them at 10.5. I'm taking the under.
And I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over for sure.
Wait, 13 wins. Wow.
We're taking the over on the Lions. We're fading the Niners. Imagine. Well, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will catch you in the next video. Keep beating the book.
Peace.